Were you given a pass-fail grade for your math class during a coronavirus and still ended up failing? If that's you, I just want to let you know that I feel your pain. And in this video, we're going to get in our feelings. I'm going to share a little bit about myself, but I also want to encourage you and give you some advice while you're going through it, so that you can feel better. So please give this video a like if you're ready, and also subscribe and tap the bell so that you know when I post new videos. I have some coming up related to this topic and you don't want to miss them. So go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, and let's get started. Welcome back to Knowledge Over Grades. I'm Latrell, your favorite math coach, and today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my math journey and how you can see that you're not alone as far as college goes and taking math classes. I was a math major. I had plenty of math classes, too many math classes, and I didn't do well in all of them. So if you would like to read the full story, you can go to my website and read my math memoir. I like to call it my Math-Moir, the story of my math life. And that is linked in the description of this video if you want to check it. So a few things in particular inspired me to create this video series, because it just got me feeling some type of way about what's going on. So first of all is this program that is an academic program that my tutoring agency is helping out in a online tutoring setting, because they're quarantined. They're not able to go back to school, and these are high school students. They're not able to go back to school for the rest of the school year because of the coronavirus. And taking math at home, especially when you didn't really understand it in class, is a challenge. Okay, you can really be stressed out when you don't have your teacher to go through every step with you, answer your questions right there on the spot. Like, something about being in person with your teacher is very powerful. Personal contact is something that you can't really replace virtually. So these students need help. And even though they're given a pass-fail grade, they are afraid that they might fail if they don't get extra help. They are doing their homework at night and their teacher is working during the day. Their teacher's office hours is during the day, and they're missing that time. So when they have a question at night, they can't really ask the teacher, and some of them aren't getting back to them. We're helping them out by giving them some extra math tutoring support online. And so far it's been working well. The other thing that encouraged me to do this particular video that I'm doing right now is a comment that I seen on another video. So a girl named Shandian, I think Shandian Gorman, she made a video saying that she failed college and that she was depressed and she didn't know what to do. So I watched the video, and because I know so many people like that, I was almost like that. And I just wanted to, see what her story was. And I was reading the comments, and I saw this one particular comment that touched my heart. Let me read it to you. It says, "I'm going through the same situation right now. I'm failing classes, and I was never like this. I'd always do my work and do well in school, but college is seriously messing with my mental health. My family is so supportive, but really strict. And the smallest mistake I make, I get blamed for everything. And I just don't want to disappoint them. I'm really scared for my future because it's not going the way I want it to. I'm having thoughts about just dying. Like, I can't wait to die because I don't want to feel this pressure. I want to do well in college, but I physically and mentally can't. I just can't. I try, but it's like something is holding me back, and I hate it. I'm letting everyone down and I can't anymore." Whoa, that's heavy. That's heavy. And that made me feel really sad and really angry, because how can an institution that's supposed to be helping us move forward and better our life make us feel like we don't even want to be here anymore? I know I've been in that situation before, and it's horrible. Like, I just feel really bad for this student, and I know there are so many more students who are feeling this same feeling. It's insane. It really is. Doesn't make any sense. So I replied to this person's comment. I don't know if it's a girl or a boy, But I replied to this person's comment, and in this video, I'm basically going to unpack what I explained to this person in the comment, trying to encourage them and everybody else who commented on, who commented and liked this comment. It was 14 people who liked the comment. I know it's way more than that who feel the same way she feels, he or she. So the first thing I want to say is that if you were having suicidal thoughts and thinking about not being here anymore, please get help. Seriously, I'm not joking. I worked with students who had these feelings before, and it's not anything to play with, even if it is you, and even if it is somebody who you know. Please encourage them to get help. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 1-800-273-8255, and talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. It's anonymous on this call. You can also talk to somebody that you trust. Talk to somebody that you don't know, and see if they have any advice for you, because maybe you fear that you're going to be judged by somebody that you do know. Just talk to someone and see if you can get some support. Also, listen to the tips that I have in this video that may change your perspective on your outlook on life. So the second thing I want to say is that the coronavirus is messing everything up, all right, in the whole world. It's not just you, it's not just your class, it's not just your immediate family, it's the whole entire world that's dealing with the coronavirus. The climate is being affected by the coronavirus. Your college that you're going to is being affected by the coronavirus too. Not just your grade, not just the grading system pass-fail, but the pass-fail is affecting the college and their validity of their grading system, the validity of their classes and their curriculum. I was reading some articles about Ivy League colleges like Columbia University and Harvard, and they were saying that the article was saying that the students were petitioning for a pass-fail grade, and some other students were petitioning for a letter grade, because this is like a really important class that the coronavirus just struck in the middle of, and they want the class to count so that they can move on to the next level. You know, it's a bunch of controversy going on. It's a bunch of back and forth and a bunch of valid points that are being brought up. And then there are some people who are like, why are we even, I can't even believe that I'm worrying about school when I'm trying to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? It's people dying all around me, and because of the coronavirus, and y'all talking about make sure you get your grades in. So it's a lot of feelings and thoughts that are circulating around this whole pandemic. It's not good. Small businesses are being affected, okay? So many businesses had to shut down for good, like literally close down, because everybody had to be quarantined at home. They couldn't make any money, so how are they going to survive? How are they going to keep paying their bills? I saw a video clip that said the meat industry is being affected by the coronavirus. How? Go watch the video and see. I didn't look at it. I didn't watch the video, but it's being affected. The economy, that's a given. The economy is being super affected like crazy. And even our health, like around the world, this is nothing that we've ever experienced. So this social distancing, not being able to hang out and do fun things like we used to, like that's all we know. So we're all being affected by the coronavirus. It's not just you. And this is something that you have to keep in mind moving forward. When you get out of college, your life is going to be different than when I got out of college. You know, so different modifications and accommodations are going to be made. Like, it's not like only a few people or this group of people went through the coronavirus. The whole world went through the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? So accommodations are going to be made, and it's not even going to be an accommodation. It's going to be a change in the whole structure and system of the program, hopefully. And if it's not, that's something you wanted to consider as to why you want to go with this company or why you want to go with this program or this grad school, because they're not accommodating for anything that everybody went through, and that's kind of not fair. So definitely things are going to be changing, and you're going to be changing too after has all settled down, and after new normals have been established. So make sure you are focusing on yourself, focusing on your health and your family's health, and just taking care of yourself. Like, that's the whole theme of this whole video. Take care of yourself, okay? So just don't worry about it. Things will fall into place later on, and you'll be fine, literally. The number 3 point I want to bring up is that college is a different level of work, okay? So you're in high school, right? And you got high school level work. Then you get to college and it's different. Now, not everybody has that same experience where high school is easy and college is harder, but most people do. Like 99% of the people feel that college is harder than high school. Even the same class, even the same high school class that they take again in college is going to be harder. You have to understand that it's a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Okay, one, there's so much work and energy that has to go into one class, and you have to take 5 of them to remain full time. Yes, you do. Also, if you went to a Title I school like I did, meaning you came from a low income city where the education wasn't as good as the education of the schools around me, then you probably weren't ready to go to college. Like, I was at least 5 steps below everybody else in my classes when I got to college. Even I took an AP calculus class, failed it. I failed the test for the AP calculus class, but I was in calculus. You know what I'm saying? Then when I got to college and I took the placement test, why did I test into an Algebra 1 class? I'm like, what is this? I'm taking steps back. But I wasn't ready. My algebra skills were not strong enough to handle a college algebra class. So that's another telltale sign that college is another level of work. And also, my grades were just not up to par because, like I said, I was in the Title I school, so my A was basically a C in another school that was in the next town over. That was not a Title I school. So I wasn't ready for college. And since I wasn't ready for college, that means that failure is going to happen. I took a differential equations class. I failed it twice. Had to take it a third time, and I passed it with a B. But it was something that was going to happen, okay? And I felt bad about failing that class. Nobody wants to fail a class because it's like you tried something and you're not good at it. But what you have to do is develop some resilience. And thankfully, I had a good professor who understood that this was a hard class for a lot of students, and not everybody's going to pass it the first time. I seen 3 sets of students, and it got to a point where I was the oldest one in the class. So it happens. Even when I was a math tutor at a community college, that same one that I took the class in, I was tutoring in the learning center of that school, and I would see the same students semester after semester taking the same class because they failed. And there were some things that I could have said about that. They should have came to me to tutoring earlier in their semester so that they can get more help instead of coming to me the day before their test or the day of their test. But still, the fact that they weren't able to, like, this is an Algebra 1 class. They took the class in high school. Even when I was in that Algebra 1 class that I tested into, it was easy. And I knew all the stuff. I just guess I didn't do well on the test, on the placement test. But these people didn't have their foundation stabilized so that they were ready to pass the class when they got to college. So they failed it and they took it again. It happens. You will live. You will survive if you fail a class. You'll be all right. So quick check-in. If you're following me and what I'm saying, if it's making sense, if it's helping, if it's encouraging to you, please put the word following in the comments. Just type following in the comments for me so that I know that is resonating with you. Okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So number 4 is that there is unhealthy pressure to do well and pass. And it's coming from everywhere. I know. Been there, done that. It's coming from everywhere, and it doesn't always feel good. So I just want to say that we know that our parents and mentors really think highly of us and want us to succeed and do better than them. And that's noble, and we should really take that into account and try to see their perspective. And we're all different. We all take pressure differently. Sometimes the pressure can get to be unbearable though. So if you were a type of student in school, in high school, where you were an athlete and you had a lot of competitive spirit and you had a lot of pressure around you from your coaches and your teachers and your teammates to do better, win the game, and all this other stuff, then you probably take pressure differently than a student who didn't get involved in extracurricular activities and was like a BC student. Okay, so everybody's different, and when you get to college, you definitely have a lot more avenues of pressure coming your way. You have your professor, you have your academic advisor, whatever program you're in, as far as helping you to stay on track. You got letters coming to you in the mail from your dean and from the admissions office saying you better stay on track, you better go to class, you better not fail. You got letters coming to you from your loan service provider, you got your parents, you got other mentors, you got your classmates who may have better grades than you, who are probably looking at you from the side eye like, I'm doing better than you. And it's a lot. It can be a lot. Believe me, I was there. And what you need to do at that point is turn back to yourself and ask yourself, can I handle this? Is this taking me under? Can I, continue to go on in this semester? Like this commenter, she or he was actually thinking about like it being better that she wasn't here on this earth than to deal with the pressure that was coming at her. And that's so discouraging. It really is. And I'm sure she is discouraged herself. I'm gonna just say it's a she. I don't even like her name. It's the person's name is called Lil Dummy, and nobody is dumb. Nobody is honestly really dumb. Anyway, so the pressure can be unbearable at times. And I know that when I was in college, I was under so much pressure and under so much pressure as far as the workload and outside people trying to encourage me, but also just feeling like I'm being chastised and I'm being, I don't know what the word is, but it was just really hard to deal with, whatever that feeling was. And I felt like my light was dimming. Like if I was a light bulb, that it was like flickering. Like I just couldn't deal with it. It was so much pressure. It was really, can't explain it. I never dealt with it again. Actually, I did deal with it again when I started teaching, which is why I'm not teaching anymore. Not to the traditional way. But I remember in particular this one class, this one class where it was group theory. Group theory, I think it was in the morning because I was studying up all night. I wouldn't go to sleep. I would just be sitting there doing math problems all night and listen to my alarm clock go off. I'm sitting there, not sleep. Just get up, go take a shower, and go to class. And I would go to group theory and I'll stay in there for maybe 10 minutes, start taking some notes, and then just leave. Find a couch out in the lobby and take a nap for like 30 minutes. And then come back before the class is over, take a little bit more notes, and then I would go to his office hours because I'm like, I don't know, I missed a lot of stuff. And I need you to explain it to me because first of all, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know what's going on in this class. And crazy thing is, I had to teach that later on when I became a teacher. And it just came to me. And I'm like, what? Why didn't I get this when I was learning it? Now I have to teach myself and then teach my kids. And it's easy. That's because I did not have the energy, I did not have the mental space, I did not have the foundation, I had too much pressure, and it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to learn. I read something that said that way back, hundreds of years ago, higher education was a hobby, or it was something that you did because you wanted to. And then the alternative was to learn a trade, like become a carpenter, or become a tradesman of some sort, okay? So that you can start making money and provide for your family. Why is that a second option these days? Why can't we do that first and then take classes because we want to learn something new? Girl, let me just drink my tea because okay, that's a whole something that I just don't agree with, because like I said, 3 months is not long enough to learn everything there is to learn about a topic. It really is not. 3 months. Just take yourself and think about the class you just took. Did you learn everything that you could out of that class? Like, did you master it? No, you didn't. I can't even, if you're watching this video, then you didn't learn everything because this video wouldn't mean anything to you if you were able to understand everything in 3 months. You wouldn't need to watch this video because you don't need encouragement. You got it. But if you're watching this video, you failed it. You more than likely are failing, and you probably did fail something in the past. So 3 months is not enough time to get through it. Like, why are professors passing people? Like, this professor that I'm talking about, he was mad cool. It was his first year as a professor teaching, and people said he looked like the math professor from The Big Bang Theory. He was really cool, and when I went to his office hours, he was just very calm, and he understood that I didn't understand anything, and he helped me and he gave me a C. I should have failed that class. Why is this an issue where professors are passing people who should have failed? Like, why is that even a thing? Like, we should be, if that's the case, if professors pass people that should have failed, then that means that 3 months is not long enough to learn the content and be a master of it. And there needs to be a change in how long a semester is, especially for certain majors, okay? Math major, no, I had it worse. I had it bad compared to my my friends in other majors, to people in taking other types of classes. I probably would have did amazing in a business class, or in a actually in all my other classes I did great. But in my math classes, when it started to get up there, it was hard. I was stressed out. And even in the other class I took with him, I took differential geometry with him. He himself said that he didn't know the content of differential geometry, and each night he had to learn it himself and then teach it to us the next day. So he understood where we were coming from as far as not knowing stuff. He would write stuff on the board like, I think that's how it goes. And that brings me to the reason why I created this channel, because I know that a lot of you who are taking math classes are not even ready to take that class. If you're in Algebra 1 and you're not understanding, then that means you're not ready to take Algebra 1. If you're in calculus and you're not understanding, that means you're not ready to take calculus because your algebra skills are weak. Period. Like, it's okay. When I was in advanced calculus, which is after Calc 3, our professor, he said, I'm concerned because you guys are getting confused on the algebra stuff. Forget the advanced calculus theorems and formulas. Y'all getting stuck on algebra. It's a fact, okay? And that's why I focus on algebra content because one, that's what everybody has to take, and two, that's the foundation for every other level of math past algebra, okay? So my tip number 5 is to be self-aware. Know who you are. If you ever heard of Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk, he is an entrepreneur and an online influencer. He talks a lot about being self-aware. As far as his schooling goes, he did bad in school, in high school, and he dropped out of college. But he ran his dad's wine shop and made millions doing it. So that should say something to you right now. Being self-aware is knowing who you are and what you want and what you're going to do to get it. And also knowing like what you're good at. Not saying that just because you failed math doesn't means you're not good at math. I failed the math class twice. I still liked math and I still wanted to try again at that class. So I took it a third time and I ended up passing it. So just because you don't do well at something the first time you do it doesn't mean that you can't become well at it. The only thing about that is to make sure that you're not putting undue stress and undue pressure on yourself to get it right now the first time, because you can do it again. There's always another chance. There's always tomorrow, and you can try again. And also, it's your life. You can do whatever you want. Okay, now you do have to finish high school. I'm telling you to finish high school. Your parents are telling you to finish high school, and your counselors and everybody else is telling you to finish high school because you really more than likely can't get a job or a job that you want that is going to provide for you without a high school degree, unless you become an entrepreneur. But as far as college goes, as far as life after high school, when you become 18 in the United States, you are an adult and you can make your own decisions. Now, you may have to still live at home because you can't provide for yourself yet, and you got to listen to your parents in that instance. But sometimes that's a good thing because you may need to, you got to listen to your parents while you're under their roof and also apply their advice and their knowledge while you're with them. Go to college if they want you to go to college, but also take in all the experiences that you're experiencing and see if college is for you. For instance, my brother, he wanted to be an HVAC technician, so he went to college. He went to a community college, the same one I went to. And it was a 3-year program, and he was going to, I think, get a certificate, but he also had to take all these other classes. He had to take English. He's like, why do I have to take English? And I want to be an HVAC technician. Like, I know how to write, I know how to speak, I know how to read. So why am I taking this class? So he was self-aware. He was aware of what he wanted and what he was able to tolerate and stand, and also realized that there were other options for him. So the option that he took was to go to a trade school that was 18 months, a year and a half, and he was able to become an HVAC technician in half the time. Okay? That's okay. That's fine. It's your life. You do what you want with your life after high school, after you get from under your parents' roof, or once you decide this is what I want to do with my life. Okay? Sometimes you will make some people upset with the decisions that you decide to make. And as you grow into the person that you want to become, as long as the decisions that you make are beneficial to you, like you find a path that you want to take that may not be the same path as the people who are influencing you. If you find a different path you want to take and it's going to still benefit you, then you shouldn't be ashamed of wanting to go a different way and wanting to do a different thing, because that's the thing about life. You are growing into being an individual. Everybody is living their life and you got to live yours. You got to make your own decisions just like everybody else is making their own decision. So don't let the pressure of other people make you feel like if I don't do what they want me to do, then I'm nothing, or I'm nobody, or I can't be anything else besides what they want me to do. And letting that move you into not wanting to be here, because that is completely unhealthy thinking. Remember that you have your own life, and you can do what you want. Make sure you are, as you're growing, you're taking advice from other people who have lived through the years that you are currently living in, because everything basically repeats itself in a foundational sense. But as far as each and everything that happens throughout the generations, in each new generation, things are going to change. And not everything is going to be as important as it was the generation before. Okay. So in as far as college goes, it's not always the most important thing. Gary Vee, he talks a lot about that. And he has this video that says you're putting college on a pedestal. And he's talking to someone on the phone about how if you're not self-aware, and if you don't know exactly what you want out of college and what you're going to do after college, which isn't always guaranteed even if you do have a plan, then why are you wasting money on it? Why are you wasting time on it when you can be getting a job? And I mean, you have a high school diploma. Some companies aren't always requiring a college degree. So if you get into the job, and maybe the next level you want to go to does require a college degree, then you can go for college, and they might even pay for it. But just have a reason for going to college, and also make sure that that's actually what you want to do. Sorry about the barking. So number 6 is to take a break from college. Take a break. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like, oh my God, I'm going to lose all this money. I'm going to lose my grant. I'm going to lose my scholarship. But what's more important, you or your degree? Like, really think about that. Your health, your mental health, and your physical health. Like, if you're not good emotionally and mentally, your physical health is going to be affected by it. Literally, like, that's science. So the most important thing is to make sure that you're good and that you're taking care of yourself. And that may require for you to take a break from college. Now that's an extreme decision that you have to, contemplate and think about whether you want to do it or not. So an alternative could be to drop a class, or drop a few classes, or drop down to part-time and take maybe one class at a time or 2 classes at a time. You do not need all that stress if that stress is making you sick, making you mentally sick, emotionally sick, physically sick. You don't need it. Let it go. And don't be sad about it. Don't be afraid to do it. And don't hesitate. If you know you can't do this, go and talk to a counselor. See if somebody can give you some type of support or advice or something. If that still doesn't help, or if nobody is able to give you an alternative, do what you have to do for yourself and make some changes. Now, this is going to require you to have the utmost amount of optimism that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be fine. Your future is okay. And you don't have anything to worry about. You're still going to get everything that you want in life. Maybe you can stay at home with your family for the semester if they allow you to. Or you can get a job at Amazon. They always hiring. They pay good. And you can rent a room and just chill out. Really. People are doing it. It's not like this is the first time you're hearing this. People are doing it, and they're finding themselves, and they're coming more into who they want to be and what they want to do. They're starting businesses, and they're becoming millionaires. And this is the type of thing that really grows you, when you are able to strike out on your own and just live your life. Now, I'm talking to adults here. I'm talking to people who are over 18. I don't want no person under 18 talk about I'm striking out on my own, because you are a minor and you need to be under the care of your parents. But if you are an adult, you're in college, and you feel like a lot of the pressure is coming down on you, then you need to take care of yourself first. Okay. If you are in high school and you feel like you're under a lot of pressure and you're feeling these feelings, then also seek out support from a counselor. You can call a friend. You can also join my email list, my newsletter, so that you can get the support that I send out on a regular basis for anybody who is taking a math class dealing with stress and a weak foundation in their math class. So the link to join my newsletter is in the description of this video, okay? And I have a bonus tip. Don't worry about your future. So don't worry about the future, and also don't worry about the past. I got this tip from the Math Sorcerer on YouTube, and he was really on point with this, because when I was in school, I was always worrying about my future, and I was also always comparing myself to other people I was going to school with. Like I told you, that one class I took that I failed twice, and the third time I took it, I was older than everybody in the class. So what? It happens. It's okay to be not at the same point in life that all your friends are in, or that all your classmates are in, because they're not on the same journey as you. You're on your own journey in your own lane, and that's all you need to focus on. They're doing what they want to do. All right, they have trials, they have things they worry about that they're not even telling you. So worry about yourself. Don't worry about your future, because guess what? Your future, what you thought was going to happen, or what you wanted to happen at a certain time, is more likely not going to happen. You're not in control of it. You're also not in control of the past. So don't let that affect your present time and the present things that you want to do, that you want to happen. Just focus on the present. Just focus on how you're feeling. Focus on your mental health and your physical health and your emotional health. Make sure that's intact so that you can move forward and that you can have a future. Okay? That's what's most important. Focus on the present. You can go back to college later. People always say, oh, stay in school now while you're young, so because later on you may not want to go back. But if you're not able to handle college, then it's okay to take a break. You can always go back. College is going to be there, okay? Taking your money. You can also take classes online. You can also take a break and take online classes. Like, even if you learn it right now and then go to college and then take that class, it's going to be 10 times easier, because you took your time and you learned it. You didn't you didn't learn it in 3 months, or maybe you did, because you only learned that one thing at a time. Like I took that differential equations class. I took that by itself because that was the last class left, and I passed it because that's all I needed. That's all I had to focus on. I didn't have to take 5 classes at a time. So make sure you're focusing on the present, and remember that you can do whatever you want. You're grown. You can do whatever you want. If you don't want to go to college anymore, drop out. And think about your future in a sense of, what other avenue can I take? What are my options? Research, Google everything, and see what you can do. So I hope these tips helped you, and share with me in the comments what you're experiencing now in your math class and with college, and what you're going through. Let me know if these tips helped you, and which one you like the best. Also, if you would like more regular and helpful advice from me regarding school and building your math skills, and also seeing how math relates to real life situations, you can join my newsletter with the link in the description of this video, okay? So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe, tap the bell, and share this content with your friends and with anybody who you think needs to hear this message and these tips. I really took these tips from my own experience, and from experience that I have dealt with my students, and that have basically become my own, because I've seen so many different sides of the coin and so many stories I've come across, and I think that I've learned the lessons from each one of them, and I want to share it with you. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.